Hey everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sue and I am from OML Embroidery. In this video is going to be day one of Love Week, Valentine's, all about hearts, bright colors, and lots of digitizing fun. So I'm going to start off today in PEDesign 11. Now I know a lot of you haven't upgraded from 10 to 11, but that's fine. I'll show you how to do it both ways, and then I'm going to show you all of the different software and where to find the tools to do it. So follow this one step by step and then get your tools and then you'll be able to do it. All right, so let's take this one apart. Now this is PEDesign 11, and because it's that, it has these backgrounds, these decorative fill backgrounds, and they're fantastic. PEDesign 10 has some, not quite like this, but if you have a McDreamy or something like a McDreamy, you can actually do the applique. This part in the middle is applique, and the lettering, for example, and you can take it onto the machine, scan it, and then do all this at the machine. It has similar designs, if not the same designs, on the machine. And if you guys want a video on how to do that exactly, leave me a comment and let me know. And if there's enough people that are interested in it, I will do a video. All right, so let's move on. So this was the easy way. This is applique. It's basically 2 clicks to get the decorative fill, and the tool is right here. But if you don't have this, let's do it another way. So let me get a new design up and start again. Now I'm using the 8x8 quilting hoop because I just like the size and it's enough for details and everything. So let's start off with a heart shape. So go up to shapes, pick a heart, and we want it to be, basically in the middle. Now with this shape you can pull up or down. I just tried to get one that's not too skinny. And what we want is, we don't want it to stitch the outside running stitch. We don't need that. Center it as best as you think, or you don't have to. You could put a heart here, you could put a heart here, you could do more than one. So we're gonna do this and put it right about there. I think looks good. Now for now, leave it on fill stitch because we're gonna do a couple of interesting things to make this work out and to make it look good. Now in PEDesign 11, I still haven't set up my ribbon, so I may have to do a little bit of search and rescue to get everything. It drives me crazy, but I still haven't done it. I don't know why I haven't done it. I just haven't. So what we want with our heart selected is we want to create offset lines. And I'll pull it over here so we can see it better. I just left it as this. So obviously outward is going out and inward is going in. So we do want an offset line going outward. We just want one of them. 0.20 inch is good enough, and we want rounded corners. So you can either preview it or just click OK. To me, that looks perfect. I'm happy with that. So let's right click on that. And we want to make this, we're going to fill it in. Now just bear with me for a second here. This will all work out. And this is, to me, there's more than one way of doing this, but this is the easiest way, I think. So that's our heart. Now we have 2. You might want to change the colors perhaps so you can remember that the red heart, the one underneath, is the one that we want. So now let's go to shapes. Let's simply pick a square. And let's go here, and you want it a little bit smaller. I got a little too click happy with my square there, and it filled in because that is the last thing I had on. So let's go to motif stitch. Now you could try stippling, would be absolutely fine. This is where I came up with the decorative fill stitch, and it basically does everything for you, so you can skip the blue heart step. You could do one of these and space it out. Maybe a spiral with enough spacing would look fantastic, but let's just try this. Let's go to motif stitch, and this is what I came up with. This is the last one that I did. So let's see the settings on it. So I pulled out one of the hearts and this one, the first one here on the line. You could also do the middle one. I don't think it would make any difference. It might look a little bit better. See, now that's really small. However, really cute. What we want to do is make it bigger. You can't go too big with motif stitches. They're not meant for that. Yeah, we're going to have to do a little bit of rearranging. So we want to maintain aspect ratio is the correct one to pick, and it'll keep the hearts round. So let's try this again and see how this is going to look. Much better, much better. Now, to play with the angle, this is the one that you use to play with the angle, and it moves it around. And I thought just kind of like sideways, if you look down here when I'm handling the rotation, you can see how it looks, and I like that. I thought an angle would be really nice to add into, and I thought it would look really cute. Now the only problem is we have all of our hearts stitching out over top, and we don't want that. So let's move this one, right click, sew first to the top, and we want to select this one, control click to select this one, and we want to go to home, and we want to modify the overlap on it. So let's select this again. We want the two of them select, there it is, and simply do remove overlap. Now what that's done is cut into our pretty motif stitches. So now if we get rid of our blue, we have a nice shape around our shape. Isn't that clever? Now again, there's many other ways of doing this. To me, it just makes logical sense, and I just remember how to do it that way. All right, let's hop into the different software so I can show you the tools. Okay, so we are in Embird Studio, and you have to be in the studio part to be able to do any digitizing. So if you don't have that module, that is what you're going to need to be able to do this. So I'm just going to quickly show you the tools that you are going to require to be able to do this design. So I picked a fill, closed object fill. Let me go back and I'll show you where it is. This one, the pictures, the icons show you really well what you are selecting. If you hover over, it'll show it to you. So let's pick that one, and I'm going to put down a node right about here, and I'm going to go to shape, and I'm going to go to ellipse, probably, no, rectangle, and you could do rounded as well. We're going to pull that out, and that's your square that we started off with, and then you just click over here to motif. Then you can work with whatever motifs that you want. You can do more than one. They've got some really nice designs here that would look fantastic. You can do the traditional backgrounds, quilting backgrounds, or something completely different. Now this is getting kind of fancy, isn't it? Let's do that. So I selected it, then you right click, two elements, and then you can generate the stitches. Now that is a gorgeous design for the background. Now of course you can go into your parameters right here, right click parameters, and it showed off screen, but you can adjust it as much as you want. I wouldn't mess around with the density, but you can shift it, you can make it bigger, longer, you could make the scale, you could bring that up, and that would make everything bigger. Remember, you have to click apply. Now you can do the same thing for the heart shape, and then let me do generate stitches there. So play around with it. So that's the tools. Now obviously the alphabet is here, so insert text. We haven't done that in PEDesign 11, but we'll go back to that. If you don't have any of the built-in fonts, you will need the font engine text. Just remember that you need to be careful. It's digitizing it, like auto digitizing it, and not all fonts work out, so you might have to play around with it a little bit to make it look good. That's awesome. So that is how you do those steps in Embird. Okay, so I did the same thing, and I pulled out a star, just the first one that came to mind, and we want to now cut a hole for this, and this is what we're going to do. Select both. So I clicked on this one, I shift clicked on that one, And here is how you do it. You click on the hole tool and then you digitize where you want it to be. Now you can make it right up to the edge. You can make it bigger. You can do anything you want. So it's there, there, there. So I'm just left clicking because this one's easy. Finish it up. Then you can generate, and there, now we have it cut out. Now all you have left to do is the lettering, like I said, and then the applique. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's go on to the next software. All right, here we are in Embrilliance. Now I have Stitch Artist Level 3 and all the other components to it. So if you don't have the buttons that I'm using, then there's probably another way to do it, or you need to upgrade your software to be able to digitize at this level. So we're going to click on Create Designs, and again I have all of this because it's Stitch Artist Level 3, and you can see right here how easy it's going to be to do the fills. So we've got the motif fill. Okay, that'll work. So Embrilliance has a lot of designs. So let's go to hearts, and you can see that you can kick your heart up, design up just a little bit. But let's start off with just a square, and okay, and we're gonna make that guy bigger, quite a bit bigger. And you know what, set them, grab the green here, set it up to fill your entire square almost to the edge. Now remember that with Embrilliance, this is just a line, this is not stitches. You have to tell it what stitches you want to use. So we want a motif fill, and then you have to go to add and then pick which ones that you want. Now again, you can play around with the designs, click OK. You can do more than one design. You can change the height, width, the gap, and the rotation, so you can come up with something really original and make it that way. So let's pull in a heart, and we're going to go back up here to heart. You could always use the quilt extra on this as well. So there we go, is our heart. Again, we got to assign stitches to it. What can we do here? Contour fill? No, we don't want that. I think we just want something plain. There we go. That looks pretty good. I kind of like that. Now you can stitch it out plain, or you can do an applique if you want. Easy enough. There's a lot of selections here. I picked fill, but you can change stuff around. You can do different patterns on it, or like I said, make it applique. The easiest way to do it is click on applique and applique position and OK. And there we go, applique position. It should be a line though, shouldn't it? Not a fill. So let's change that. There we go. A run, and then we go back into that again and click on the color, click on applique, applique position. You can, let's see, you can put the fabric in there as well, which is what it is showing. So that's really good. Copy and paste, do it again, do the zigzag around it, copy and paste, do it again, and then you've set up your own applique. So that's easy to do in Embrilliance. Now your lettering is right here, and you can play around with the lettering. You can, move it around. You can make it, fit into the heart. You can do different things. So that's where your tools are in Embrilliance. Okay, here in Hatch, I'm going to show you the tools. So this is Hatch 2.0. So go under the toolboxes over to the left, we have Digitize, and this is where you're going to find your shape. So let's do a rectangle, and you pull it out, left click and drag, click on it, and then go back to your select key. There's shortcuts. I think it's S. No, it's O. I never use them because I use my little keypad, my special gaming keypad. So then you can change it. Once you have that done, you can change it to anything that you want. Now remember too, there are a lot of motifs here, and you can change them. You can add another motif to it and change them. So use alternate motif, click on that. Black work, you can change the height and width, so you can really play around with it and get a really nice design. Also, you can change the angle like I did in PEDesign and change everything. If you look to the right here, you can see what the spacing and offset does, and it shows you exactly what it does. So that's that. Let's go to our standard shape. Let's go find a heart. So we found a heart, and pull out your heart, same thing. And we don't want that a motif. So make sure you're back on your select key. We don't want that a motif. We want it to be, click on fill. I got a little lost there. You can do it tatami if you want for now. There's a couple of different ways of doing it in Hatch. So I do want it in the center, and we have really nice guidelines. And I have my pointer, so when I click on an object, it makes it really easy to line everything up. You can also go up to the top and put it in the right position just simply by adding 0 and then 0. So bunch of ways of doing the same thing, but that is probably the quickest way of setting something in the center. So okay, we've got that so far. Now again, you play around with your design. This is probably not suitable. So now we want to cut a hole in it. Now you could do remove overlaps, I think, or maybe that's E4. But select the bottom one and still under digitize, digitize holes. And then all you have to do is just digitize the hole. I'm gonna digitize something else so you can see how it works just quickly. And hit enter, and you can see that it cut a hole out. So you could make it bigger, you could make it smaller. Another easy way, let's do Control Z and get rid of that. Another easy way is you can go to create layouts, and you can do ambience quilting. I mean, that's easy enough to do it. You can set the quilting for the background, but you can create outlines and offsets and then cut a hole from that. That's easy enough for sure. That's easy enough. And then all we have to do is click here, and we want to go to applique, and we want to convert it to applique. Boom, you are done. Isn't that fantastic? And of course, this will be all nicely cut out and everything. And then when you want to add the lettering, all you have to do is go to lettering and monogramming and click on your lettering and type it. And then here are all the different things you can do with it and how you can set it up. You might want to put Be My Valentine in a circle. That looks fantastic. You could put it up and down. You could change the shape of it. You could do anything you want. So that's the tools that you need in Hatch. Okay, back at the original instruction one, which is PEDesign 11. Let's add our lettering. So let's go to text. Now you could do a monogram. Oh wait, we haven't made the heart. Hold on, hold the phone. We want to go to Applique Wizard, select the heart, the inside heart, the red one. Go to Applique Wizard, which this makes applique so much easier. And when you do it like this, you can send the applique piece over here to your scanning cut, McSteamy, and have it cut out your fabric. Super easy. Or you can do it at the machine, just as easy. So we want to do running stitch, applique position. We want this for the tack down. We want zigzag or satin stitch for the covering. And for output a pattern, we want to replace it. So it's going to take the heart that I have and replace it with my applique. So basically just 2 stitches, 2 clicks. There we go. Now we have our heart done with a background nicely cut out. And now we're going to do our lettering. So let's go ahead. As I was saying, you could do a monogram in the middle of it. I didn't make the heart quite big enough for that, I feel. But let's go to text. And I'm going to show you guys how I did this. So let's go to the text attributes tab and click on here, and we're going to do Be My, and I think that's probably good for that. So click on it, Be My, whoops, I'm going to probably lock this one down so I don't keep doing the same mistake. There we go. Now the background won't move when I'm playing around with my lettering. Super easy way of doing it. Make it a little bit bigger. Make sure you double check your whatever font that you're using, make sure it goes big enough. I kind of didn't quite do that, and my stitches are a little bit sparse. It's still pretty good though. Still pretty good. Let's go to transform. This is how I did it. And you have lots to pick from. And I thought this was really cute. I thought a wavy design would look really, really cute on this, just because the heart's wavy. I thought it was really, really nice. So Be My and Valentine. Let's do that again. Same font. Oops, click on here first. I get confused what different software I'm using. Be My Valentine. Perfect. Perfect. I love it. So this is a built-in font that came with PEDesign 11, and I'm quite certain it was there in PEDesign 10 too. Unfortunately, I can't go back and look, sadly. There we go. So let's make this a little bit bigger. Again, being careful of the sizes of it. Now you can make this, let's see, we could turn this around. You could, make it wavier if you wanted by going here to select, and then you have you can move the letters around. You could make it look exactly like you want. So play around with it. This is a quilt block or a design. You could stitch it if you put, a satin stitch around it. You could put it on, say, a shirt or a sweatshirt. So play around with the fonts, play around with it. So I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys will play with your motif stitches and really make a nice square, quilt square, for Valentine's Day. Play around with your fonts, maybe make it a little bit bigger, step out of the embroidery box a little bit and make your own square in whatever software that you use. It's basic motifs, it's basic applique, it's removing overlaps or cutting out holes depending on what software you're using, and lettering and playing around with the lettering. Another idea would be to do the lettering in a circle. I think that would look fantastic. So get digitizing. Make sure you post your homework in OML Embroidery University Facebook group, because we love to see how creative you are. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!